sing a happy song together, and we'll all be a happy family.
Well, hi and welcome back to the channel. So, some of you may remember this little CRT monitor that I made up and fitted in a document case. At the moment, that runs off of a 12-volt DC supply, and I use my amateur radio 12-volt supply to drive this thing. And one project that may be coming up soon is a possibility of making a linear power supply to drive that. And it just so happens in my lucky dip box, while I found the transformer that suited my Vidor radio, I also found this one, which says 12 volts nominal. Now it's 12 volts AC. So I did some research and I found out that this was made in 1987 and it can supply a minimum, I mean not a minimum, but at least one, possibly 1.5 amps. So it's easily going to be able to drive this monitor, which takes about half an amp. So one little project would be to build a simple linear supply, possibly with a regulator or possibly just relying on a regulator that's built into this, and to see if that will provide this with a steady enough 12 volt supply. I'm not sure it will work because this thing seems quite sensitive to the supply being smooth and being steady. But yeah, that's one project possibly in the offing. There's that. There's also, I haven't got it here because it's too big to put on this table, but I've got a Denon Hi-Fi setup. That is quite old, probably from the 90s or early 2000s. That's got clicky relays. You power it up and apparently the relays click, belongs to a friend. So that one is another one I'll probably be looking at some point. That one may well be just a matter of cleaning relays, putting them back, hopefully. I know I did some work on it before because I did actually give the volume pot a bit of a squirting. So that's those ones. Now, several people have asked about a certain object. So there it is. The Theremin, it's back again. Yeah, I mean it works and I've shown it working, but it doesn't fully work. So I got a bit frustrated with it and decided, I'll put that to one side and I'll get something else in. And so I did that. The Vidor, which is still working nicely. So when it comes to the Vidor, I can't clean that case because it's not coated with what I thought Rexine. It's not that at all. It's basically wallpapered as far as I can make out. It's very thin and paper-like material. It's just like wallpaper. And its grubbiness, I mean the grubbiness is also inside the lid, the bits that are not exposed, as well. So the only way I'd really get rid of that would be either to recover it or paint it. So anyway, I've pretty much decided, no, I'll just leave it as it is because it's original. Keep the originality of it rather than make it look smart. So I probably won't be returning to the Vidor unless I have issues with it. So that said, we'll have a little chat about this one. Now, if I hold this steady, because I've got the phone which I'm filming this with mounted on a sort of tripod. But obviously to show something like this I've got to then hold it, and it's not going to be 100% steady, is it? But never mind. There's the circuit of the Theremin, and down here the underlined are the transistors. I'm pretty sure they're the ones I ended up using. Anyhow, that's they're not the originals, so we've got issues with this. Now it works with the pitch antenna, that works fine. You can set it up and you can play the thing and it works. This side, the volume antenna, doesn't seem to do anything. And I did have a quick look at it and try to get it working. As I say, at that point I got a bit frustrated because this has been a long haul sorting this project out. I had to make the coils myself. I had to find modern available transistors to use instead of those. There could be a lot of reasons why it doesn't work on this side. One of the reasons being that my homemade coils may not be, I mean, they're all the same, the four of them are the same, and this side does work, so I think they're in the right ballpark. I don't think it would be that. It's possible though that it doesn't work because these are not the design transistors, these are substitutes. It could be that I made a wiring error, so I'll be thoroughly checking that. It could even be these field effects transistors. Now, although I worked in electronics for a while, I didn't do much with FETs, to be honest, and they weren't all that common back then. And they're a bit like valves. They're a voltage device rather than a current device. But I'm not quite au fait with them, if I'm honest about it. So any help, any ideas will always be welcome. And this is the design of the side which should be operating the volume, and it seems to be that as you move your hand nearer or further from the volume antenna, you obviously works a similar way. You're shifting the oscillator against a fixed oscillator, and that this circuit should produce a voltage which varies, and that voltage is fed down to this section here, which should vary the volume, vary the level of the signal going through. And that doesn't seem to do anything at the moment. My brief look, it seemed to me that the oscillator wasn't actually varying when I moved my hand nearer or further from the antenna. So yeah, it could easily be a wiring error, and it could even be that one of the FETs isn't working. So I've got several replacement transistors for this, because obviously couldn't buy just ones and twos. So it's not an issue if any of them are defective. The only problem is my construction method, which amounted to this kind of wire links in it, which makes it a bit fiddly taking a transistor out and testing it and putting it back. But I wasn't going to have the expense of making up a PC board or getting all the equipment to make one, or ordering one from, say, PCBWay or someone like that for a one-off project. So I devised this method, which worked quite well. You know, as I say, it's no problem with the pitch side actually working. So yeah, there's that part of it. Getting that to work. The other bit, of course, is that this isn't finished, because there should be a cover that would drop over the top of this. These come out, so these would come out. You drop the cover on, then drop these back in, so you just have a box. And the other thing I need to accommodate is all the bread that's needed, of course. And if you haven't seen my earlier videos, you won't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that pretty much is it, really. It's just this is just to start the year off, just a list of the projects I've got lined up, and there'll probably be other things if I fancy doing something different, like I did with the Vidor. I might pick up another project and do that in the interim. But yeah, these haven't been forgotten, so they are still in progress. Really, the next one I should be looking at, I think, is this one, because I think that's what's caught some interest. Incidentally, the most viewed video I had in 2025 was a short, and it was me playing a recorder, "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," and I was staggered that got something like 1,200 views. It's totally ridiculous. So it's very much a sideline for me, just tinkering about with recorders and trying to play them. So you never know. You just never know what's going to catch the interest in it. And my only gripe is everything seems to have to go through the rotten cloud, which slows this all down. It would be so much easier for me if I could just film this onto the phone, transfer it from the phone to the PC, edit it on the PC, and then upload it to YouTube without having to involve the cloud all the time. And everything seems to be geared to try and push me that way. So I don't know if anyone else feels the same about that, but I find that very frustrating. It slows everything down and makes even a short video like this take ages to get out there. Anyway, that's enough moaning from me. So I hope you enjoyed 2026, and I hope you'll be coming back to see some of the progress on these projects. So from me, that's it for now. So bye for now. Catch you on the next one.
Sing the happy song together, and we'll all be a happy family.